Hi, I'm Dr. Georgia Witkin.
And I'm Kimberly Pauley.
And I'm Kimberly's mother.
And I'm the mother of 2 boys.
Which makes me Gigi for Grandma Georgia.
So welcome to Gigi and me.
We talk about everything.
Well, the reason I talk to my mother about everything is that she's a professor of psychiatry, professor of OBGYN, she's written 10 books on stress, and she's a Fox News contributor.
And Kimberly is a lawyer, a columnist, a college professor, and pregnant.
So we're going to be talking about pregnancy. Please join us.
Let's talk about the dreaded stress that everyone's worried about when they're pregnant, when they have a new baby. Is the baby going to catch the stress? Is the stress going to affect the pregnancy? Yeah, okay, first let's introduce ourselves.
Kimberly Pauley. I have 2 sons, and I'm pregnant with my 3rd son.
Lisa Geislin. I have a 5-year-old daughter and a 2.5-month-old daughter.
Susan Krause. I have a 3.5-year-old son and a 2-week-old son.
Okay, so you said you were just talking about stress.
You were just
the dreaded
talking
stress.
about
Okay, so what we say?
Well, I think we were both sort of commiserating that we are a bit anxiety prone in general, and going through pregnancy and having a baby and all of that, and that sort of escalating and trying to manage that with your, around your children, so that perhaps you don't pass that along to your kids. I mean, we really were talking about that. Is that something your kids feed upon and pick up on, and what are some ways to manage that better?
I'm just saying that I'm usually not stressed.
Right.
But when I'm pregnant, one of my biggest stresses when I'm pregnant is that I worry from the minute I get pregnant to the minute the baby comes out that something could be wrong with the baby health-wise. Whether or not something is wrong with the baby, that's a completely separate issue. But the stress of worrying while you're pregnant, because it's not something you can ever categorically know, is so stressful to me.
And I hear that from a lot of women who are typically very calm. Amazingly, I, who worry about everything, was not stressed about the health of my child, but I stress about most other things. So it's interesting where people place their stress.
Here's the formula. Every time your sense of control or your ability to predict what's coming next goes down, stress goes up. So whatever it is for you that you feel during pregnancy you're not in control of, and my guess is you're women who are used to being in control, right? You did the education you needed, and you worked when you needed, and you're just used to, if I take charge, everything will work out fine. And this is the one thing you don't have
There are
control.
no guarantees. Despite all of our technology, there are no guarantees.
And all the excitement I had when this is my 3rd, so when I was pregnant the first time, I think the excitement kind of overtook the nervousness, like giving birth and calling everyone for the first time. Now I know exactly what labor is going to be like.
You know what to expect.
Now it's all stress. There's not that much excitement left.
Do you think
the
it's
excitement about the
also-
baby, but not the birth?
Do you think it's also that now because I know I felt a lot more anxiety about the health of my 2nd child during my 2nd pregnancy, because you've seen a lot, and you've seen friends who've had problems, and you've seen things happen, and so now I was sort of blissfully naive, I think, the first time.
It's so true.
And now I hear all these stories, and I know people who've gone through really difficult pregnancies and births and stuff.
And I'm not a 22-year-old new mom. I am on my 3rd child. Yeah, you have all the tests. And also, I think when my first one got his first cold, I was shocked because I never thought about the kids getting sick. When they were...
Once you give birth,
it's over.
Now it's done. He's fine.
Whole new things that you're not in
So
control
now you're more
of.
aware of things that you should be worried about in a way that you weren't before. So that's my biggest stress when it
Guess
comes
what the
to being
number
pregnant.
one cause of stress is on every survey, every poll, when you're a new mom?
Do you want us to guess?
Health?
Oh, no, it's when you're a new mom. Oh, what is it?
Lack of time. Lack of time.
And
lack
being
of time.
pulled in so many directions.
Before the baby, you're 27 minutes short every day. If you measure the time you need and the time you have after the baby, you're 2 hours and 27 minutes short a day. Like, why is everything so out of control?
Because you're pulled in so many directions, I think. Just case in point, this morning, I like being a helpful wife, and right now I'm home, so I'm able to try and be a little more helpful. But it's difficult when you get your 5-year-old out the door, you're trying to nurse your child before you go out of the house, your husband's asking you to do this. They're
Take
just
a shower,
which is... God forbid to take out to
right,
leave yourself.
Right.
There's just not enough time, and I am a very punctual, regimented person, and you're just always running a little bit late.
And then you add to it women who work part-time. Do you know, most women, the majority of women, more than 50% of women who have children under 18 are working full-time, or at least part-time is, another 15, 20%. So, like, how do they have time to go to the bathroom?
You have more time to go to the bathroom at work than you do at home.
Right.
That's
Work is almost a break.
Work,
right?
And that's a very interesting point too, because I find now that I'm home, since having my daughter, how did I ever get everything done when I was working? But you have so much more time to devote to all those things, maybe the minutia, so to speak, where you delegate more because you have to, because of circumstances.
You started working part-time again after you had your first.
Yeah, I started
son.
at 6 months, when he was 6 months old, and I have to say, I felt like that gave me some sanity to get tasks done, because I was at a desk in front of a computer, and I had my little control to-do list, and I
control back.
Absolutely.
So here would be my prescription. My prescription would make sure that you take care of yourself as well as your baby. And this might sound strange, but carve out time, even if you think you have no time to play, whether it's with girlfriends or go to a movie or something, so you catch your breath. Let me hear, what's your one tip?
My one tip is sort of just that, is to really try to give yourself different elements in your life. Something for yourself, things, obviously a lot for your family, but always something for yourself, whether that's work or time with friends, whatever it is.
Not just the baby.
Not just caring for your children and your husband.
Ditto. Absolutely. Take care of yourself and you will be a better mother, a better wife, a better woman. Absolutely.
And you teach your children that you can pause. That mommy is not just a perpetual machine.
I think it goes back to also accepting help, something that we've talked about privately. I mean, if you can accept help and not try to do it all, then you will have that time to be able to devote to yourself and to your child and to your husband and to all the other things that you want to get done.
Good, I'm going to remember that too. Thanks.